YCS London has just concluded, so I figured it's about time I do my Invoked Mekk Knight deck list for the new format. As of now, the format's basically become, unfortunately, the most powerful deck is probably the Danger FTK deck, and Thunder Dragons, which is another deck I'm planning on building after I complete getting all the cards. As of now, that deck's almost done. I just need the Colossus and a few more small stuff. But anyway, this is Invoked Mekk Knights. The deck has pretty much not quite been the same since we had Goblin get banned, but the deck can still put out a couple OTKs with the Book of the Law, which I've now started playing again. Anyway, let's get right into it. 3 main deck Alistair, you gotta play it, it's your starter. Something I did a little bit different is I changed up the Mekk Knight ratios a little bit. I'm playing 2 blue and 3 purple, and then these are still the same. I decided to cut down on the blue because I was seeing it way too much, and I wanted to start playing the Book of the Law in the main deck instead of just not playing it at all, just because pushing out OTKs has been pretty nice lately. I've been mostly just playing the going second stun build of the deck with just turboing out Macabre with like the Mekk Knight trap under it, so that was pretty good, but as of now I think this is probably a better idea for this format. Just because with Danger FTK you can't leave them with the turn. They can push through so many effects that it's not even funny. I did decide to start maining the Kaijus. 1 Thunder King, this is the biggest one, this is a wind, and this is the smallest one. That's the only reason I play it. The only one I would consider playing more is possibly Dogoran, just because it's a fire. But other than that, that's pretty much all I need. For hand traps, I decided to go back to playing 3 Ash. I find it better this format. Striker isn't as relevant as it has been, so I figured this is a lot better. 2 Droll, I'm probably going to bump this up to 3 and then put either this to 2 or Valor back to 2. But this is fine for now. I've not had any issues with it against the Danger FTK. I've opened it consistently enough against that deck. And I find that Valor tends to be a much better option against that deck. Just stopping Armageddon Knight, or Target, or the Azathoth, which would be nice. Hitting Armageddon Knight or Isolde has been a lot better too. So this is pretty good. That's it for the monsters. The spells, you play 3 Meltdown, you gotta play it. Yeah, and 3 Invocation. This is still, in my opinion, the best ratio for this, because hitting this off Desire sucks. Reincarnation, after Trickstar just almost won the most recent YCS, so I feel like Trickstar might be coming back a little bit in the meta. So I'm going to keep this at 3 still. I've always been an advocate for this at 3. But it's been pretty good. 2 Terraforming, 1 Slumber, 1 Book of Law, just because it's searchable. I'm testing it. I'm not completely sure if it's going to stay in the deck yet, just because I've not had quite enough testing with this as I had in the previous format. So, 1 Upstart, 2 Desires, 3 Instant Fusion. This is super important for dealing with dealing with Thunder Dragons. It's going to be one of your hardest matchups this format, just because the big Thunder Dragons just basically shut down your whole play. A hand of like Alistair plus a Mekk Knight would be broken, except for that one situation. So having a main deck out to it has just been too amazing. Plus this sets up a column for the Mekk Knights. So 2 Called by the Grave and 1 Secrets. Stops hand traps. And I still play the Mekk Knight combo, so I'm going to continue playing this. This has not really had any issues yet, except for going against Thunder Dragons. It's been pretty subpar, just because like, stopping their activate effects doesn't really do anything because it doesn't stop the Colossus. So, that's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, 2 copies of Macabre. This hasn't changed. The fusions basically have not changed. I'm still playing the 8 fusions. Yeah, that's not really changed at all. For the links, 1 Madness Invoker. I've been making this more often over the Morning Star. But I'm still playing both, but this is becoming more prevalent over this in the past, in testing. 1 Trisbania, 1 Unicorn, 1 Phoenix. This was Boral Sword, but I've had to get rid of it for monetary reasons. But this is Boral Sword, so play Boral Sword if you have it. If not, play Borlo, just something big. And then Link Rebo, Underclock. just something to get the 1,000 eyes off the field so you can continue playing and attacking. So that's about it for the deck. If I was to give this deck a rating, like based on the previous format and how it's been doing most recently, I'd say it's been pretty nice. The hardest matchup's definitely going to be your Thunder Dragon players. Trickstar is okay. It's basically an auto win just because they set up their grave. And then you can out their Trickstar Reincarnation pretty easily, like by basically banishing all their targets for it in the grave. This deck doesn't really lose to hand traps as much as it used to. That's what I've been trying to do in the past, is make this not as hittable by hand traps, but I don't think I can ever permanently get rid of that problem. Other than that, this deck's been pretty good. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.